Bamm Ericsen here with AFTERBUZZ TV for Empire, Season 3, Episode 17, Toil and Trouble, Part 1. Let's go.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
This song's dedicated to my homies, that gangsta lean.
Got the snap going.
I need a 40 ounce, you know what I'm saying, to pour out a little liquor for our brother Tariq.
Rest in peace.
Seems like yesterday.
You gotta get the you know, you gotta get the rock.
I'm just gonna leave it to you guys.
Come on, rock with us, Abigail. Come on, Abby, you gotta rock with us. See? There you go. It just envelops you. It just envelops you. Come on. One more time, one time. Okay. No, I thought this was the chorus.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so.
We had a moment.
Yeah. So,
Well.
I said somebody had to go.
You did. I
did. You called it. You called it.
Bamm was right.
So, I'm going to break this down just a little bit. So, Lucious.
Bamm Ericsen, Jill Munroe, Abigail Fraher.
Oh, whoops. I forgot.
We know where to find you. You guys know us already, right? Right.
But you can find me on all social media at Bamm Ericsen.
At Stiletto Jill.
At Abigail.A.F.
We know you guys already know. But.
All right. So thank you guys for tuning in to another week here at AFTERBUZZ TV. So Lucious goes to Tariq to help find Bella. Lucious promises to give Tariq whatever he wants. Tariq says he's only doing it for the sake of the child and because it's in his blood. Tyree goes and finds Sam, who helps him with the forging of the documents to take Bella out of the system. Sam refers to Bella as bottom feeders, and it triggers both Lucious and Tariq, and so they give him a beatdown. All right, so now Lucious is like, man, I'm really sorry it took so long for us to come together. Do you buy this?
I feel all kinds of different ways about this because I feel like that was genuine, but also at the same time, why was it so easy to get over all of a sudden? And also then it makes me wonder, like, what really was the whole beef? Was there really that much beef, or was it just one of those things that you continue because you hate each other? You don't really remember why.
Well,
completely.
I feel like Tariq wanted his brother's love. He wanted to be a part of the Lyon Empire, and I mean, we still aren't really clear on why he hated Lucious so badly. I mean, we know Lucious was the black guy.
Yeah.
The bad guy was kind of jealousy, something to do with their dad and blah.
Has anyone ever been enemies with someone so long you actually forgot why you dislike the person?
Or a frenemy?
Or a frenemy?
Exactly.
So
more that one probably.
I'm going to assume that
I don't forget shit. Stuff.
Oh, I don't either.
Or like, have you ever been in a fight so crazy and then it just takes one person to be like, you know what, just come here and just hug it out and you're over it.
Like an argument fight, not a fist fight.
Yeah, not like no, not a brawling fight, just like a verbal,
I mean,
everyone gets so worked up and it's just like, just take a breath and hug each other and let's get over it. It's not that big of a deal.
No, that's not me.
No? Okay.
No, not me, but I get that. I just assume that they're both probably in their 40s, and he lost everything. He got fired. I'm referencing Tariq. He got fired. He basically had no one, and then when he saw that Lucious was like, hey, I'm here to have you back. Sometimes you just kind of forget about things, and in the heat of the moment, you realize, oh, yeah, sure, okay.
Right.
At least that's how guys, sometimes it happens, where it's like you just say, oh, okay, cool.
Right.
Or you have a storyline that needs wrapping up, so you just throw that in there and forget about all the animosity and that he's on the run from the feds.
Yeah. So, did anyone see this coming, where Mother Walker decides to stab and kill her? Who's older, Tariq?
No,
Lucy.
Dwight is older.
Yeah, Lucy. To stab her youngest son.
It's not her son.
Oh, that's right. It's Lucious's brother.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's
did that change your mind for a second? You're caught up in that for a sec. Yeah.
So that's why she hates him.
He represents
a lot. Infidelity,
bad time, whatever whatever her husband
he
was
stole
doing
the
at
last
that time.
of her husband too. I don't know.
I forgot. There's so
I
many.
totally see her killing someone.
Yeah.
I don't know if I pictured her killing him.
She tried to ground up glass in the food first.
Yeah.
I was like, who is she doing that for? I was like, is she trying to kill Lucious? But then,
but no, I knew
Tyreek showed
that. I
up.
knew that because she switched it, so it was for someone else.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, wow. My perspective changes because I forgot that's not her child. So she's been holding in this for 40 years of this bastard child.
Yep.
And I
And
think that
she's
made
already
it clear
credited,
because
yeah.
she kept playing us as an audience too a little bit. Like, okay, whose side is she really on? Like, what does she really think? Okay, we know.
She was setting him up,
She
yeah.
hates
And
him.
so, do you think this was just purely just an old bitter person in her ways, or do you still think that she has a little tick tick boom in her? Like, was this the crazy part of Mother Walker that killed him, or do you think this was totally sane Mother Walker who said, "I'm just about to kill this man"?
I think it's a little bit of the crazy, only because she knows that they're trying to get Bella back and he's helping, and she just came in and hit him with the neck, like a jailhouse shank.
Yeah,
really
there
quick.
wasn't. I also think there wasn't much thought into it. I think it was a very she acted on an impulse.
Which means she could have killed Anika at any
Right.
of those other times or any
Right.
of those other people
She's-
because, her
You're right.
cylinders aren't firing.
You're
all
right. She could have
She's
killed.
kind of like Andre in that
Yeah.
sense, a little.
And that's where Andre got it from. Isn't that what we kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Assume.
so...
Right.
Well, you guys missed Tariq.
No, but I was kind of warming up to the idea of them being friendly.
I was kind of curious to see
I
if they
was-
were
I
going to
thought that would
low-key,
go cool
low-key
places,
team up.
right.
Yeah.
And that it would be sort of a frenemy situation where they might be cool for a minute, but then Tariq, you don't know if he's going to double back. And then I was thinking it was going to be a setup for something like
A
that.
longer storyline. Yeah.
But no.
Yeah.
Which makes, for me, the fact that he went out like that and that's how we wrap up that story, basically, makes the whole revenge thing almost a waste. Because it's just...
Although I did predict a death,
You did.
I think that was stupid to kill him.
I do too.
I think it was stupid to kill him. I feel like there was more storyline with Lucious and Tariq, and with them now forming to be brothers. There's just so many things that could have happened. Like with the fact of him firing Thirst, he could have been that replacement. So I just think, I'm always down to kill somebody and take somebody out. But I'm sorry, Empire Riders. I thought it was a terrible choice for Tariq to be killed.
Yeah, I thought his storyline should have played it. They should have developed, because I felt like that storyline had a lot of potential, but it was never fully developed out. It felt very hollow to me. Just sort of, we need an antithesis to Lucious. We need somebody for him to do battle with and for us not to like. And we got a flimsy reason, but yeah.
And my final thing is, I wanted Boo Boo Kitty and Tariq to get together.
Really?
I did. I for some, I think they visually, I think they made a nice couple, and he liked her, and I believe that she was gonna eventually like him. So I thought they, two losers. I
that
thought
was
they
too much for me.
Yeah.
I would like her to, bring somebody else in that's not related.
But I saw good
She's
things.
messed with the family too much. She's gotta step out of that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Bottom.
Lucious and Juliana versus the entire Empire. All right, so Becky informs Nessa and Tiana of the budget cuts. I want to get your opinion because you have an entertainment, music, radio, record label background. What was your thoughts of how Becky finally stepped up and didn't allow these two cackling girls to take over the conversation?
We've been talking about all season how Becky needs to step up and assert herself, and it's about time. Nobody's paying attention now, but it's about time, Becky. Sit them down, let them know what it is, and get them to shut up, because neither one of them are really bringing any heat. Right now, they're just both kind of whiny and just there. They don't really serve a purpose.
I concur.
Agree. For me, that's so what, who cares?
Yeah.
The new PR, Byron Moore, advises Lucious to wait to release when Cookie met Lucious since the buzz is so hot on Inferno. Cookie's pissed.
I don't disagree.
Here's my thing. It had a valid point where you don't want to stack your releases on top of each other because then they'll cannibalize each other. So I do understand that, but I'm just kind of, why not release when Cookie met when Cookie met Lucious? I can't say it. Cookie met Lucious.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it. It's just too much, though. Jamal, we'll talk about that later because
Okay. I've been saying it from day one. You know, as a record label, you want to monopolize as many of the quarters in the music industry as possible. So
I feel like Bamm had an in on the script.
I know. I'm like, so who are you talking to, Bamm?
Because every week Bamm's like,
it just
no,
seems weird.
I think this, and he's like,
what websites are you hacking to see the episodes early?
No, he has an in. He has an in.
How do you know I don't have the scripts?
Right. See, you see what I'm saying?
Cool.
I always keep one ear to the streets.
Really, because you have been spot on.
Make us look stupid over here. What do you kids think? Because I already know.
Give me something to bounce off of.
Thirst questions Juliana, and she gets him fired.
This was way too quick.
Okay, so how did Juliana not know that Charlotte was not a Mormon? Like, do you think that was do you think she set Thirsty up for that in order to get him fired?
Yes.
Okay, and so now he fires him. My take on this, and maybe you can give me a better example, but I was trying to think of like a Puff or Russell Simmons. Oh, it's like Lucious firing Thirst is so stupid to me. I feel like, and I tried to use an example of
Russell
like
Korn and Lore.
Thank you, somebody where you're gonna fire the man who not only knows your company but he also bails you out. Like he's like the
Lawyer,
like the PR that used to bail Tom Cruise out all the time. Like he's PR where he hides all of your dirt. Then he knows the legal aspect as well as he knows the streets. That was just stupid to me.
He has all this dirt on you. Like I wrote down. What did I even say? Like, can you even fire him? Like
I felt
that
like
just doesn't make any sense.
I feel like he fired him because it's this bigger part of I'm gonna roll with you. And I'm going to roll with you guys in the comments because I saw you saying that we were playing ourselves thinking that Lucious was in love with Juliana and it's all a scheme to get his money back and revenge. So I'm going to ride that, and he's just Thirsty is right now, you know, casualty of war, but he'll get him back. So
one of my questions I said, is Lucious PW or he's just stupid?
I want to say Lucious has a plan. That's my hope, because he's been acting so erratic and weird,
right.
and there have been moments that have been really endearing, and others have been like WTF. So
I believe it's all a plan.
It better be, or he's going senile.
Yeah, I believe it's all a plan, and I do believe that that he will explain to Thirst what he did, and Thirst is so cool and so chill and laid back. Thirst would say okay, and just kind of roll with it, but. I just think that Juliana,
she's irritating me.
Not only is she irritating, but you cannot think that what's between your legs is so powerful and so great that a man is going to completely just take down his whole entire empire, especially when you took $10 million from him, and you completely ruined him, and you ruined him so much that he had refused to work for Vegas. So you think that your sex appeal and whatever you have between your legs is so good that he's going to do? Is she that stupid?
And I think she's doing a really poor job, like we had talked about before.
Yeah.
Like she's continuing to do a poor job of the sex appeal thing, because I think that whole scene was supposed to be a little bit better.
I kind of don't understand her character. Her character seems like an airhead to me with a quick trigger finger, you know, and we still don't get why Cookie was in jail. So why are you jealous of Cookie? She was in jail and he divorced her. So what's your beef that way? I'm sorry. No, the whole thing with her is just, once again, another plot point that I feel is thrown in there for good reason, but whether it's time or just lack of, it's just not fleshed out. It doesn't make sense to me. It's kind of like incomplete.
I agree. So now Thirst is out of a job. He runs into Cookie. Thirst says, hey, Cookie, I respect your gangster. And so this was an easy thing that the two of
She's
them were
loading
gonna
up,
they were
yeah.
gonna join forces. So now let's talk about Cookie's first attempt at the Vegas heist. So Shine almost reveals what Juliana did when he and Andre were in Vegas trying to take Lucious down. And Andre almost flips his wig. Shine and his homeboy Drop refuses to work with Andre, and so they leave before Cookie can even infiltrate a plan. What the hell is going on with Andre and Shine to where they're really at each other? Yeah, they're really at odds.
I think, well, with Shine, I think he was willing to see what Andre had as far as a plan goes, but Andre's plan is falling apart. And so Shine is like, I'm not riding with you. It doesn't benefit me anymore. Nessa's not getting the benefit, so what's the point?
Right.
You're just out here leading me into crazy. So I think that's it. He was like, let me see what's up. All right, what you said is up isn't really what's up, so I can't mess with you.
And he'll put up with Andre's antics, I think, as long as he's getting something. But
Right.
I don't think it makes sense that both stormed out. I feel like one of them would have stuck around to just like explain things to Cookie. Not even maybe what necessarily happened, but I thought it was really odd for both to just storm out completely.
I feel like something is brewing up bigger between Andre and Shine, and you know, last time they knuckled up. I think the next time these two boys go at it, there's gonna be weapons and guns pulled out, and Shine's gonna die.
Okay.
Just because there's just this, it's brewing up. You know, when you see kids on the playground and back at school, and someone is always the two are always at odds, and I just feel like, you know, especially now that Nessa has lost her. I guess her contract was shelved or something of the sort. I can't remember because I didn't particularly care for that little tidbit. So something's happened. So the fact that now Nessa doesn't have Andre as well, I feel like something big is about to happen between these two.
I mean, that makes sense because...
And we don't really need her anymore in the storyline.
Right.
I say we do need her only because to give us a break from Jamal singing. Sorry.
Oh, well... well,
Sure.
So Hakeem chooses not to take part of this. Do you guys agree with Hakeem for wanting to stay in hopes that Bella returns?
yeah,
100%. I don't think you could focus on.
yeah.
Okay, now what about Jamal backing out of the plan to take down Club Leviticus? What's
I don't know what's going. Does he feel defeated? Is he about to slip back into drug use? Something's coming with that because all of a sudden he's not all over the place, but not dialed in.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think he's being a pussy. like, all the way around, he just doesn't want to deal with anything.
Punk.
He doesn't want to just. He just wants to sing.
I don't think that these boys understand the magnitude of what is at stake.
Right.
You know, they're spoiled, so everything has come to them. You know, Cookie and Lucious always bails them out anytime something happens. Yeah. And so Cookie and Lucious are fighting again. Oh, Inferno. Oh, Vegas. Oh, when Cookie met Lucious.
But they're always taken care of.
You know, we're going to be taken care of. So they don't see this as a problem. They don't see the Vegas thing. And, you know, Andre is because Andre is not involved in music, he understands that the dynamics of both sides. So you have these two entitled artists who will just think mom and dad's gonna take care of it no matter what's going on, so why should I care? I'm tired of being in the middle of it. And I don't think they understand the nature of this whole Vegas deal.
Yeah,
they don't understand, I guess you're right, the background of everything that goes into their performances. They just understand performing.
I agree with that.
So with that being said, I guess it makes sense that, you know, they just kind of storms off because it's like, oh, you know, Cookie's going against
Mom
dad.
and dad got it.
Yeah, they got it. But Cookie's final attempt at the Vegas heist. So Thirsty advises Cookie to get people that she really trusts. She gets her sisters, Carol and Candace, Portia, who stays along with Hakeem's two friends, Chicken, and I don't know the other guy. He didn't have a speaking part, so I couldn't find him on IMDb. What?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Some shade there.
Listen. We just didn't know his name.
So we'll
We're
know
sorry.
you if you speak, okay?
Yeah. At least that way we can research you. No, I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying I agree.
That sounds kind of bad. I really didn't mean it like that.
No,
This is Bamm speaking, not Petty Pablo. I didn't mean that one. I really didn't. Yeah. So I actually liked this. I like this one.
I did. Okay, can I just tell you my one complaint with the whole we're going to Vegas Leviticus thing?
What's that?
So Leviticus in Vegas looks just like Leviticus in wherever Empire is at, except that we put a casino table on there. I thought that was the worst set I've ever seen, and it disturbed me, and it was stupid, and I had a problem with it, and it distracted me from the whole vibe of what could have been a really dope, Ocean's 11 cookie version moment. It still was to some degree, but it just threw me off. I'm like, this is Leviticus. You're not in Vegas. Just because we show some Vegas B-roll in the other spots.
If we're gonna hate, the only other thing, which that bothered me a little, but not as much as I think it bothered you. What bothered me is that they all thought that Carol's boobs were gonna be a distraction to a trained security guard.
Okay, well let's talk about it. So.
And I liked when Carol and oh God, what's Vivica's character's name?
Candace.
When they were in the car and Candace turned up Big Sean.
Yeah.
She got her little bounce on.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Candace, she remember you from the hood.
One thing I like about the sisters is I liked, and this is again no shade, but I liked how they kind of aged Vivica with the wig just to show the difference in these women, all probably in their 40s. How you can tell who's the middle, who's the oldest, who's the young. I really like the way that the presentation. I really liked how they look. But so now, again, I put why is Lucious stupid for fire and thirst, because he comes up with this brilliant plan to get the vault. To get the books, to get Juliana's book. Then he not only does that, he provides them with secret cameras everywhere that everyone wore. Like, Thirst's plan was so brilliant, but Lucious, you go ahead and you fire the man who can multitask. Look at all what he was able to do.
He's like Alfred for Batman.
Yeah, he was able to do everything. He provided the vault. He gave him the plan.
Told Becky how to pick the locks.
Exactly, and so she had to break the vault. And so, although it took her all night to learn the system, but she was able to do it. So, how soon do you guys think Becky and Thirst are going to smash?
Soon.
Or maybe it'll just be the thing where
it'll be the underlying
where there's
tension.
always sexual tension, but it doesn't really come together like that. I don't know. I kind of like it as a chase more than I would like them as an actual couple, I think.
I like that one. So I would say no to smashing, and I would say yes to the continual flirting.
Yeah, I like that.
Now let's talk about this showdown in Vegas. So I didn't, and I'm normally petty, I didn't pay attention to the set. I just thought it was great. I thought the whole entire Vegas thing was really cool. So you got Chicken at the door, while the unspoken homie was at the blackjack table.
I like how they showed it and then ran it back and then showed it again from the different angles. So I appreciate that.
Was the DJ a part of the heist? And if so, who is she? Because the DJ...
Yeah, that's Hakeem's DJ, right?
I don't know. I couldn't figure it out.
The girl, she's like, that's always like his
I thought
buddy.
Chicken was the DJ. So I was a little confused because they kept showing her and they kept showing the ring she had on her finger to show that like she had the cameras going. So that was my only problem with the whole heist thing.
Maybe you're right. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but I loved the setup. Then you had Kevin and Candace's white husband, Kevin.
I love that.
Yeah, who
so
was
much.
winning at the blackjack table, and he needed to be shown the vault to see if it met his needs, being that Cookie just caused the big scene downstairs.
I loved it. I loved everything about it. I don't know why Jussie's so simple though. How she just told them, yes, I take my ledgers with me everywhere.
So can we, like Wendy Williams say, can we talk? All right, so can we discuss the underlying message with Kevin being used for what he did?
That we hot for white people?
Yeah.
You can say it.
So what I took out of this, the reason I believe that Juliana was so forthgiving the information is because he's white, and which is why they specifically brought Candace's husband.
Whale, right?
Yeah,
they called him a whale.
That's why they brought Candace's husband, because white people are taken to be trusted more, which is why Candace made the part of, you know, how he was winning all this money, and then as soon as they realized that he had money and that he was winning, what did the black security guard do? He went over and said, you know what, sir, we'll take you to the vault, blah blah blah. And then he says, well, I need to see if it meets my standards.
They're gonna, I mean, I feel like, okay, so I feel what you're saying, and I agree, but I also think that they did refer to him as a whale. And you know, in Vegas, that if you're a big spender, how they were purporting him to win and have that kind of money, then what does happen is they do bend over backwards and someone takes care of you to kind of give you the floor. That's why so many people get comped rooms and suites and stuff like that in Vegas, because they're spending so much on the table. So, you know, I thought that it rang true regardless of race, but I feel you on her jumps.
So now, Carol was originally to stun her boobs to the security, but he was feeling Becky, and so the two had to switch.
I like that. I like that twist.
Me too.
Again,
But
the boob
is it
thing.
realistic?
Well,
Are
It could
Carol's
be.
boobs
wait,
that great?
so let's talk race again. If she was white, it would have worked. She was a tall.
Well,
if she was
maybe.
a tall,
But
Here's
really,
maybe.
though, for a security
No.
guard, I mean, that's like their so. I mean, he's not just like a security guard at like a club or something.
she would have. Okay, maybe it wouldn't have worked fully, but I believe
She
that
would have distracted him a little
she
further.
would have been able to distract
I don't
further.
think so,
But then
because
Becky did.
obviously he likes something
Right.
else.
He likes.
And yeah. So I think that
Maybe he just wanted a little more there.
you know, he likes a little pushing for the cushion.
Yeah.
You know? So I thought that was cute and funny, and when we get to see Becky try and get over awkwardness and flirt,
Yeah.
and Carol, you know, who is always the mess up or the screw up kind of, she got to handle the situation. I thought that was dope. So I really, to your
I don't disagree,
Yeah.
but I think they played with all of that the whole episode with
Yeah.
the whole like Jehovah Witness thing and the Mexican and
the Mexican
you know,
Mormon.
or Mormon. That's not Jehovah Witness.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Mexican
Hey, there we
Mormon.
go.
Yeah, we did. And then also, I thought during the time of that discussion, Carol switching with Becky, you know, Cookie and Thurs got into an argument. You know, says his plan would have been better if he would have got his team versus the little sisterhood of traveling attitude. Cookie says, let's cut the $10 jokes looking like a sorbet pop. So, and then Thurs says, this is why I went Asian. Again, like you said, there were a lot of these drops
Slurs
and these slurs the
yeah.
entire time. What's your take on that?
It rings true. I mean, we are in a very PC society right now, and people can't sometimes say the things, not so much with malice, but maybe in their comfort zone, they can speak a little freer because people know their heart, or so to speak. So I thought all of that are things that you would hear people say, stuff, you know, that happens, little slides and jokes that are dropped.
You're not going to hear that on the news, but you
Yeah.
will hear that, I think, in
Within
personal
a group,
conversations,
yeah.
right?
What I won't say it bothered me, but it struck a nerve with me just a little bit because with Thirsty and Cookie having this conversation, for me, I felt like it perpetuates the stereotype that all black women have attitudes. And so that bothered me because all women have attitudes.
Right.
They do. I think that is true, but I also think that a big portion of things on this show at a certain degree are running stereotypes or pushing those stereotypes out. Cookie does have an attitude. So does Carol. So does Candace. You know, and they bicker when they're around each other. Now, do I think that is because they're black women or because they're sisters that, you know, rub each other the wrong way? I think it's more that, but I think that is something of someone who has gone Asian would likely say, because they're going to connect. If anything that they feel like is an excuse to justify their preference or whatever, they're
Yeah.
going to point to it. So I think that, you know, even if Cookie was just being smart and it wasn't everybody else, something like that would have come up, because those are the stereotypes that certain type of people hold with them, especially someone who's gone Asian but is looking at Becky. So, you know, yeah.
And then Charlotte also had a lot of things that she kept referencing you people.
Yeah.
Lucious called Charlotte Mexican.
You hip-hop people.
Yeah, you hip hop people.
Right.
Then Charlotte says to Lucious, make sure this Inferno doesn't open up the gates of my town to a bunch of hip hop hooligans from hell. Do you think Charlotte's racist, or do you think?
Yeah, but Charlotte, it's Vegas.
Right.
Started with hooligans.
Right.
It's gonna end with hooligans.
I feel like every time I've been to Vegas,
sure.
it is all hooligans.
I mean, Vegas was run
It's
by
all
the
types of
mob.
people, but it's like crazy people that are actually running around without shoes, starting fights in the street. Like
It's debauchery.
Yeah.
Your slogan for Vegas is what happens in Vegas
hookers,
stays in Vegas.
like right. I mean,
Cut it out. But she took their money.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
right.
for her 6 or 7 kids, however many kids she said she had.
But again, I like them. I like the messages. A lot of people hate black people, but you sure want to take our money.
All the time. It
So,
happens.
it happens.
I mean, I feel like that's an entertainment
Yeah.
setup in general. You know, they may not personally mess with you because you are A, B, or C, but can you make me some money? All right, we're on
Money
board
has
with
no
that.
color.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or if you show up to, you know, there's some events that they may not want you to go to, but if you're popular and popping, they want you to come to the events. What's that big event where the fashion thing?
Fashion Week, Met Gala Ball.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's a perfect example.
it absolutely is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you think Future would have been invited 10 years ago?
Right.
Probably not.
10. Do you think Future would have been invited 2
Yeah.
years ago?
But if you're popping,
Right.
You're on the carpet.
yeah, exactly. So did you guys think that Carol was going to actually mess up this whole plan, or did you think she was going to pull it together?
No, I thought she was going to pull it together.
I thought they overdid the preemptive messing it up, so that's why I felt comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that it was too easy? The way it happened, do you think it was too
Yes.
easy?
There's cameras on the ceiling too. They have a room. I mean, I think it was really good, but I don't think it was super realistic. Not that anything is super realistic on Empire. I think it was Empire realistic.
I mean, Lucious doesn't know what Carol looks like.
That's the
Her
other thing,
sisters
right,
aren't
right,
there
right. You
for
didn't
the
see them
club. If
walking
you have
through.
face
Right,
recognition,
right.
You know, you have face recognition software, but not for who Cookie might be with. Just, you know.
That's a good point. Because Cookie probably would have brought somebody. She wouldn't have just come by herself.
Right.
But still entertaining to me. So
No.
I really
I enjoyed
entertaining.
it.
Right.
I enjoyed the whole Ocean's 11. That's one of my favorite movies. I'm
Yeah.
excited for the female version that's coming out. So yeah.
Yeah. So Cookie's plan was an epic fail. Do
It
you agree or
was.
disagree?
Not an
Or was
epic
it?
fail.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm like waiting to see. Because it depends whose side Andre. Like what? I mean, Andre's on Andre's side, but if it pans out,
I think
different.
I
don't
feel
know,
like the mess
in her
ups
favor.
are playing into Lucious and or Andre's separate plans that ultimately will benefit the Lyon family overall.
and I totally saw that coming with Andre and Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the plan fails. She takes
Since
the
he lost
money.
Jussie.
She takes the money of the 500K to pay for Cookie's mishap that Lucious did, and so then Charlotte ups the prices after reading Juliana's books. So meanwhile, Mac Dre then swooped another one. Charlotte, what's your take on Andre?
He learned this from Rhonda. Sex is a weapon. He knows what
Right.
he looks like. He knows he's charming. Yeah. He sees the twinkle in her eye like, I got it. Let me,
The mother of 8.
yeah. She probably is macking
needs
for
some
a
free
little
time.
side
Yeah,
note. Right.
Were you guys shocked to see that at the end that Andre was the one who actually? So now Andre's back on. He's
A
back
little
on
bit.
track. You saw it a little bit.
No. I was
Yeah.
surprised a little. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. It was a nice twist.
It was a nice twist. I appreciated that, but sort of, you always look at Andre like this since the hacking and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You think at any given moment he could be responsible for something because you know he's with the shits.
Yeah, I liked it because, you know, all of his other plans. Although this one with Vegas and Shine, I thought it was a great plan. But if all else fails, use what you got.
Right.
Exactly. That's what he's doing. Bottom line.
And that's exactly what he did. And so Andre tells Cookie the 411. Charlotte says, he says that Charlotte takes payoffs as long as she ties it to a church. She has no loyalty to Lucious and is dead serious about keeping the thug element out of Vegas. And if anything jumps off, she will snuff out Inferno before Pop can strike a match. Cookie then says, we will then give Pac and Biggie times 10.
Why though?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's still a good business venture. So why do you have to just completely blow it up?
Right.
You mad because she took your money and played you? Likely, but you didn't investigate it enough because you were just concerned about getting Juliana out of there. So all of a sudden now Vegas isn't a good idea anymore?
So.
And you're going to lose money?
Right.
Or, I mean...
I think winning to her is more important right now than anything. Just the pure win. I won.
So, do you think she's going to do the Biggie shooting incident, or do you think she means let's go Biggie and Tupac, meaning let's go super huge? Because would you agree that at that time in 95, 96, that was probably the biggest time in hip hop versus with sales, music, charts? I mean, it was probably the biggest era of hip hop music.
I actually feel like the biggest era came after they died, more in 98, 2000, only because it set up this apex where there's the East Coast, West Coast beast, and then it came down, and it kicked off an era of kind of happy, like the focus kind of changed. That's when, after that, people started doing diamonds. You got to think Nelly, like those 10 million rap album sellers, when rappers became pop stars, to me, it started happening in that point, but by about like 2000, 2002, and that era when the Nellies came out and
Juvenile,
and things like that, that's when it started getting to its apex. But I think that is one of the most notorious times in hip hop. It's actually, it's a benchmark. It's a highlight of the change of the business and what it meant. Because I feel like if you look at it from that point, that was the point when, I mean, it started with 85 Run DMC, 90 Hammer, but that's from after Biggie and Pac is when rap music somehow, even though it was deemed as violent and all these things, became mainstream. Because if you think about R&B and music in general right now, there's Trey Songz, Chris Brown, but our pop stars, our big stars, even in music, they're rappers. Those are the, guys that used to be, R&B artists, the ones that are, women are throwing their panties and stuff like that. It's rappers. So I think that was the catalyst for the change.
That's a good point, and we can probably argue off camera.
Yeah.
But,
that's a whole other topic.
I do.
Sorry.
Sorry. You make a good point about the sales, but I also think at that time when you had Death Row and you had the whole East Coast movement, I mean, there were so many artists that came out. But good point as far as sales. So
we'll table it.
Yeah. We'll table it, but we'll table it. And where was I going with this? Oh, so I agree. So if in fact she is trying to go this whole thug hood element, why?
That's just my thing. Why? Because it's a detriment to you. Surely there's got to be another way.
It's gonna
kill Juicy.
Right.
That'll solve a lot of problems.
Look at you just throwing around
money.
Kill her.
I mean,
she does need to die.
She does.
Yeah, she does need to die. I
Rather
agree.
than putting a stain on your name on Empire,
So Lucious comes in while Cookie's talking to Hakeem and Jamal. Cookie wants to drop the when Cookie met Lucious the next day so she can compete and take down Inferno. Lucious then comes in. Lucious says that he's got Jamal and that they're going to team up now and he will join in on Vegas. And so he's going to put his album on hold until Inferno dies. Cookie says that Lucious only cares for himself. And now there became this whole discussion about, who's selfish, who's not, who to believe, whatever. And so they all now took Lucious's side, and Cookie was the one who was alone, where she was saying, you can't trust your dad. And then Hakeem is like, well, how can you say that when you said to trust dad with Bella? Again, these kids don't understand family issues.
They can't break them apart.
They can't break them apart.
Right.
They don't know how to break apart the family side and the entertainment side.
Right. Can I just bring up one thing, though, that was disturbing to me, the whole thing with Bella? What happened to the Dubois? I thought that Mrs. Dubois was bringing Bella into the family. No? You forgot about that?
Oh, I forgot to talk about that.
Oh. I mean, we know. I just was thinking about that. I just
okay. What also didn't make. Okay. What did you guys think about the fact that Tariq then found the Bella being strollered by the nanny into the Dubois estate?
I guess that's what he was coming to tell Lucious, and he was so excited. But it just seemed, again, that whole storyline is bothering me because. How are you're gonna lose the baby and then the Dubois are gonna take it over? You think they don't know what the baby's face looks like?
Right. And then do you also?
And you're just out on the street.
Yeah, and it also didn't make sense because, you don't think Cookie or the family knows where the Dubois estate is?
Right.
It just again.
It's an arrogant.
But again,
action.
a lot of times, arrogant people.
Do stupid things.
Things. They think they're on top of the world, and they think that nothing is going to happen to them. Thus,
I also don't understand why he waited to tell Lucious in person. Like, I don't see that that's not something that could really harm you by saying over the phone.
Because he wanted to be close to his brother. He wanted to see his face because he
did it.
You know,
but Lucious, it was a voicemail.
Oh.
When he called Lucious, it went to Lucious's voicemail.
I need to see you as soon as I can.
So he knew that he had to go to Lucious's house anyway to report. So I think that all makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going back to the Cookie Lucious thing. So what I thought was interesting was Lucious then defended. She was like, "No, you guys, stop getting down on your mom. You know, she feels a certain way." He kind of threw in there that she lost, but this whole Lucious act that he's been having for the past 3 or 4 episodes, I like this new Lucious approach where he's being tough and he's being vicious, but he's doing it with a soft voice. And it's working, and I feel like now Cookie needs to change her ways. Will she? Probably not, but I feel like she needs to change her ways because she doesn't even realize that Lucious is playing her, but in a different way.
Because she's back in love and drifting on a memory or whatever. I just think that it must be exhausting to be in Lucious's mind. So this week I'm going to be tender Lucious. Still always with the evil, it's just like so much going on.
Yeah, he's been like this for like
a while.
Yeah, a while, maybe 3, 4 episodes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But and it's just out of nowhere to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a lot of acting. We'll see.
Is there anything else that I'm missing? Majority of the episode really dealt with the Vegas and the heist and stuff. So I think we pretty much covered that. Does anyone have any other things within the topics that we discussed?
I'm just, looking ahead a little bit because we all saw the previews for the season finale next week.
So let's go into predictions.
Nope.
Okay. Like maybe.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So I guess I got to start, huh?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna let you.
So we saw that there's some stuff going on with Anika that I don't like that, and I know that we're gonna be left with that cliffhanger.
Meaning that she's potentially arrested for killing Tariq. Mm-hmm. It makes sense because
but because to me it's like we could have just said Tariq was on the run. He came into the house and tried to attack us. We all know.
Right.
I just feel like that's a unnecessary cliffhanger, but whatever. Want to see who else is gonna die next week. And I think that we will hear no more about Vegas after next week.
Gonna be a done thing.
Yeah.
I just want to get the Bella thing wrapped up.
Yeah.
And I want Nia gone. And I don't ever want to see her again.
Yeah,
I'm just over it. I didn't.
It's ironic. Last night I watched Baby Boy and Boys in the Hood, and I was like, hey,
It's time for it to be done.
I normally don't see the clip, but I saw the clip, and I thought the clip told too much.
It did.
Yeah.
It's almost no point in.
Watching.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a twist, but I felt like it told a great deal of what
I felt like it told too much. So in the clip, we see that Juliana knows that she's being played, and that Cookie and Lucious bond together. Then it alludes to maybe he proposing to her since they're in Vegas. It was. I felt like it was too much, and then Boo Boo Kitty's arrested for the murder of Tariq.
We still don't know what happens with Bella, though.
No, I don't actually care.
Like, bye, baby. You're fine.
I don't care. So what do you think is going to happen to my last question or prediction? What do you guys think is going to happen to Mother Walker? So she killed
Nothing.
Tariq. So you think they're just going to cover it up?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you
Or
think
she'll blurt out like, I killed him or something.
Yeah. And do you think the family will know that Mother Walker killed Tariq?
No.
Or do you think Lucious will keep this to himself?
Yeah, I think he'll keep it to himself.
I think he might tell Cookie.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
That's
maybe.
basically to himself. But
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Cookie's not going to drop the ball and accidentally say something, but somebody else might.
Yeah.
I think, well, actually, no, we're going to find out a lot about Bella next week because I think he's going to have to tell Cookie because it's going to help wrap up the Bella storyline because ultimately
They're gonna have to
we
figure
know
out
where
where
Bella
she
is.
is. Right,
yeah, so.
And then my final thing is I believe that one of Jamal's friends is going to pop back and there has to be
Philip or D major? D major,
Major,
D
yeah.
major, D
Um,
major.
I actually
Do we show who what?
I
We
actually-
need to calm down over here.
Right.
once D Major started acting the way he did, like I'm totally done with that relationship. And so I would have to root for Philip just for the
Yeah.
sake, but neither one of those bums. I think he should, and I think in the very, very end he needs to get back with Michael.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about who he needs to be with, it's nobody.
Right.
Who looks good on screen? Well, it's both, but you know, if we're talking about the electricity, we want D major.
But at the same
And
time,
the music.
But at the
Yeah.
same time, since the two have been gone, he seems like he needs a man in order to have his music mojo.
He always
does.
has to have a boo. He
Yeah.
needs
Yeah.
that.
He
And
needs
so-
that sexual energy.
Yeah, because
That's why I said D major.
Right. Because, like, I don't know, he wasn't producing much with.
Yeah, good music and
Philip.
yeah.
all right, well,
That threesome, maybe? I don't know. Maybe we'll
No
finally
more
get
ghost
that.
threesomes.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I forgot about that. I forgot about
Let's
that
not
one.
have
And
that.
scene.
I will predict they will both come out. They will come back for the finale for that.
For that?
Yeah.
All right, let's do
No.
it.
Yeah.
No.
But overall, great show, and I'm looking very forward to this finale. I've
too.
really enjoyed this season of Empire. So let everyone know where you could be found on social media before we wrap.
Guys, you can follow me on all social media at abigail.a.f. Thanks for joining us tonight.
I'm Jill Munroe. You can follow me at Stiletto Jill. Hit me up.
And you can follow me on all social media at Bamm Ericsen. We want to thank you guys for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV for Empire Season 3, Episode 17, Part 1 of the finale. We will see you guys next week for the season finale. Thank you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.